Welcome back, I'm Sean, and today we're checking out the big brother of the Edifier MP230 that was reviewed 2 years ago, and we've seen how much Edifier has evolved and made the speaker more powerful and feature-packed. So is it worth the money that Edifier is asking for? So let's check it out.
Give it time. I know that I'm not easy. This cold heart of mine, she really took a beating before you. You stuck through blizzards, winter nights with you. Now I'm blooming just for you. For you.
So this speaker today was sent over to me by Edifier for review, but this is not a sponsored post and my review will be based on my honest and unbiased opinion. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel and ring the notification bell so you won't miss any future tech reviews. So the Edifier D32 comes in at a price of $185 or about 899 Malaysian ringgit, and it's a really beefed up wireless speaker that gives you more than you're expecting from a speaker like that. So if you're interested in buying one, do check out my links below. So to start off, I really like the color of the original MP230, that warm brownish color with the copper gold accent all around. Really gives the speaker a really nice retro look. And today the D32 have grown up a lot, and you can see that the speaker comes with a very similar design, but this time has a lot more matured color palettes. So you get this speaker in two color configurations, the black walnut color that I have here and also a white version which is like a cream white color with gold accents around. And this speaker comes built in with this seamless wood cabinet that is extremely solid and so smooth, wrapping around the entire speaker, which also gives this speaker its weight of 3.04 kilos, and for something pretty small, it does feel very heavy and dense. So at the front here, Edifier kept that beautiful fabric weave of brown and black, and also the Edifier badge at the top left of the speaker. And this time at the bottom, Edifier branding is not on the button itself but placed on the speaker, which gives it a more symmetrical look with the 5 buttons in the middle. So on the right is just a high-res audio sticker. And at the bottom here, you're gonna get 4 gold feet with rubber padding at the bottom, and it seems like it's a super over-engineered feet. But one thing that really came through my mind is that there should be a handle here so that I can carry my speaker around, because this thing is slightly heavy and I'm not going to lug it around every day. And if you put the handle on here, it kind of breaks the design of the speaker, but you still kind of need to lift it around. So fortunately, Edifier thought through this, and they actually included a handle at the back here so you can carry this speaker around, and it's very nicely placed so that it's very easy to hold the speaker. So at the back of the speaker, this is where your handle is, and there's also 2 bass reflex ports at the back of the speaker to vent air. And in terms of the driver, you're getting 2 1-inch silk dome tweeters on the speaker and also 1 4-inch long throw driver that drives the mids and highs, generating about 60 watts RMS, which is the comfortable range of the speaker. But this speaker can go all the way up to 120 watts peak power, especially useful if you want to plug this in with an amp into the speaker. So port-wise, this is pretty simple, and what you get behind here is a 3.5mm auxiliary port in which you will be able to use your analog inputs as well as a USB-C input, so you can have digital audio plugging directly into it, and the onboard DAC will do its job for playback. So next to that is also a power plug to power up the speaker directly from the wall, or you can also run this speaker via their battery. The controls here is also simple, and you get a power on-off button, the Bluetooth pairing button, a play and pause button, as well as a volume up and down button, which you can also use it for track skipping. So the speaker also comes with a built-in battery, so if you want to bring your beautiful speaker out and about, you actually get a very long-lasting speaker to power your music. So the built-in 5200 mAh battery will give you about 11 hours of continuous playback time when using it in a moderate volume, and charging the speakers will use the dedicated charging or power cable provided. Unfortunately, the Type-C port here is just for audio input and doesn't accept power to charge up the device. So let's talk about the different volume levels you get with this speaker. So starting with the line-in volume, when you plug the device directly in via the 3.5mm auxiliary jack, you get a comfortable listening volume about 50%, and at about 65%, volume is already quite loud, and moving above that, you're really getting a lot of power out from the speaker. When using it in Bluetooth mode with my iPhone, I get a pretty similar volume level, so about 50% comfortable volume and 65% loud volume. And when you hear this in person, you really hear how much power this speaker has. But here, the volume button on the speaker directly controls the volume on the iPhone. So when connected via Bluetooth to the Hi-B R32 to run LDAC, the button on the speaker is independent to the device, so you can actually max out the speaker volume and control it using the DAP player. And I get a comfortable listening volume at only 10%. And I get to the same loud volume at 35% volume, which is insane. So the advertised 120 watt peak power is really no joke, because this speaker is extremely loud. So feature-wise, you're getting a more mature set of features with the D32 compared to the MP230. For starters, Edifier now gives you a speaker with Bluetooth 5.3 chipset that supports all the major codecs including LDAC, AAC and SBC codec. So not only that, Bluetooth is not the only method of playback, and you also get two types of line inputs, including the 3.5mm auxiliary port as well as a Type-C digital line in. On top of that, you also get multi-room support with this speaker with Apple AirPlay, which is also Wi-Fi playback. So if you can run this with a compatible Apple device, so you can actually set this up to your Wi-Fi network to run all of your AirPlay speakers via AirPlay. It also connects through the ALAC codec, running in the Wi-Fi frequencies of 5 GHz as well as 2.4 GHz dual band connection. So the speaker here also have a 2-device multipoint when in Bluetooth mode, which is instantaneous, with a caveat, because you can play another song on your other device and it won't switch over automatically right until the time you pause your main media, and the speaker immediately swings to the second device without any delay. So that's how the multipoint works here. Also, do know that if you enable LDAC capabilities in the app, you won't be able to use the multipoint connectivity. And finally, do take note that there is no mic on the speaker, so if you have a phone call, you won't be able to listen it through the speaker itself. Since there is no mic to actually pick up your sound, it doesn't make sense to play your call through the speaker, so you just have to pick it up via your phone. So the D32 uses Edifier's latest Connex app, and there is some things to take note here. Out of the box, the speaker does not have LDAC turned on, and to enable this, you will need to use a compatible Android device that supports LDAC. Reason I need to point this out because you might be using a DAP player like me that does not have Android built in, and you cannot download the Connex app to enable LDAC. So you will be stuck with playing AAC or SBC even though you have LDAC supported on this speaker. So with that out of the way, at the home page here, you will see the speaker picture as well as the battery percentage, which is awesome. And here you get to switch between the different inputs, so you get to go between Bluetooth, 3.5mm USB-C audio streaming as well as AirPlay. And under sound effects here, you're going to get 4 different EQ presets and also a 6-band manual EQ. So below that, you also get a volume control for your speaker, and under the settings, you get to turn on the dual device connectivity. And do note that if you have multipoint enabled, you cannot turn on LDAC and vice versa. Here you also get other settings and also be able to update your firmware when there is a new one. So let's talk a little bit about the sound quality here with this speaker. And in my experience using this speaker with Bluetooth mode with Apple lossless, already sounds really good. But it definitely doesn't compare direct line in with high-res files playing, but it's still plenty good in Bluetooth mode. So let's start with the LDAC capability of this device. And it is as dynamic as high resolution as you can imagine how an LDAC speaker would perform, and you get a very wide dynamic range when paired with high-res files, and you hear a lot of everything. So bass-wise, you don't get a very deep bass signature here. It sounds very flat, but not in a bad way, in a more high-res audio way. Mid vocals here is extremely clear and without sounding anywhere muffling. Highs here is superb, and you also get to hear every sparkle, every timbre. And this speaker here is superb sounding in LDAC. So in Bluetooth mode with my iPhone, you're not going to get the most dynamic sound signature with this speaker as compared to LDAC playback, but when you switch around the EQ to monitor mode, you get close. You do get that better bass performance here in AAC mode with the iPhone. Sub bass is also a little bit better rendered here, but I do notice that very deep sub bass from songs like Doing It Right doesn't get rendered. Mid vocal here sounds really good as well, and they seem to pop really well, with the highs here not as prominent as compared to LDAC. So that's one problem that I personally face when I swap between listening to high-res audio LDAC versus AAC. So you do hear the difference there. My third test was using the line in and also connecting it to my Fossey Audio SK01 analog amplifier, and getting the opportunity to mess with the EQ on the SK01 really draws out the best of your audio files. And this is where you can hear how much power is actually in that 4-inch driver, driving superb amount of bass. Not subwoofer levels bass of course, but in this configuration you get the best wired high-res audio plus improved bass. And if you haven't messed about with EQ on high-res audio before with an M that has EQ controls, you will soon realize how much you're actually missing out. Just think about it as maybe color grading a 10-bit video or editing a raw photo where you have so much flexibility. It kind of has the same experience here.
walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Well, I know that this is not a low latency gaming speaker, it's not marketed as that, but it's just nice to test to see how it performs, and you do get quite a lot of latency when gaming in PUBG. Even in real time, you do see a noticeable amount of lag, and I did try it with YouTube and Netflix, and I see very tiny amount of delay, but after a while you just kind of don't notice it anymore. So let's take a look at the latency performance of this speaker. So for me, this is a massive release from Edifier, and I really love this device. The way it looks, the way it sounds, and the flexibility you get with all of the different inputs here really makes this speaker something really desirable. So what do you think about this speaker? Do you love how it looks like, and would you buy one? So let me know in the comment section below. So that is it for this review. If you find this video helpful, smash that thumbs up button, share this video everywhere, and if you haven't yet subscribed, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.